The Last of Us Part 2, the TV show, and the game actually have a lot of issues, but today I'm just gonna focus on one particular thing that I found out about what Craig Mazin, who is the co-creator and showrunner of the HBO's The Last of Us, said about love. And if you haven't heard this already, it is very controversial, and I find it particularly evil, actually, to say such a thing and to have such philosophical views that can actually do harm to many people and how they see the world, and in this case, love. So we are going to take a look at what he said. I'm going to read you some of the other things that he said in interviews, and we're going to discuss about what the heck is the problem with love and why this guy Craig Mazin says that love is the problem and that love is immoral. Let's begin with this short snippet from episode 1 of the Last of Us podcast. We are lost in darkness. Let's hear what he says.
How can we construct a supporting Ellie, who's special for some reason, across the United States? We wanted to make an experience that really explored the unconditional love a parent feels for a child. How can we construct a story that through its interaction, through its characters, through the relationship, through music, through everything we have at our disposal, make you feel the wonderful and horrible things that can come out of love?
Yeah, when we wrote that show Bible is just a long outline, basically. Right there on the front page, I think we said this is a love story, and that's not good, because what we wanted to dig into is the theme that came out of the game. Naughty Dog, Neil's company, made The Last of Us. They made The Last of Us Part 2. They made Left Behind, which came out in between those two games. Throughout those games, and I think throughout our series, we will continue to come back to the notion that love conquers all, and that's problematic, that we think of love as this solely positive thing, a beautiful thing, and it is. But love, especially the love that a parent has for a child, is primal, and it can lead to the most intense fear, and the most intense fear can lead to the most intense behavior, including violence. And if you scratch the surface of tribalism, racism, xenophobia, you will find love. Love is not always good. And when we talk about this show, and as we go episode by episode, we're going to meet people that love each other over and over and over.
Okay, so his arguments are extremely flawed. The way that he's wording things, he's basically talking like somebody that is totally into wokeness and wants to use words like problematic and xenophobia and all those things that are just pushed down our throats these days. And of course there's stuff like racism and all those things still. But anyway, I'm just saying that these guys are freaking woke. Both of them. The way that they did the show, the way they did the games before that, the way that they made Ellie gay in the DLC, and then that transferred on screen, of course that it did. The way that they killed Joe, okay? When I played The Last of Us 2, I actually went through this emotional journey and I saw a lot of meaning in what they actually did in The Last of Us 2, but then it just falls flat on its face. Now I realize that because a lot of time has passed, I know new things now, and Ellie's sacrifice would probably be for nothing. The reaction of Joe was absolutely justified for him to save Ellie, and even if they did manage to make this antidote for the whole world, they will use that like a power piece on their chessboard. They will try to rule humanity with this. It's going to be another evil probably in the hands of the Fireflies. But what he did is not just out of love. I mean, yes, he loves Ellie, he wants to save her, but he was willing to go through that to a point. He just realized that maybe that's not really necessary and he can really save her, and those people cannot be actually trusted. So when you love someone, that doesn't mean that you are this mindless pig, this mindless fly on the wall that cannot think. It's a lot of other emotion as well, and love inherently is good. You cannot say that love is not good, because love is actually the most pure, the most good emotion that a person can feel. And if it's unconditional love, then the love is real. Most people don't know what real love is. Most people never experienced it. Most people talk about love when it comes to relationships and romantic love. There's a lot of other types of love, but if love is not unconditional, if love towards a fellow human or an animal is not present inherently, you don't know what that is. And you might be jaded. If you're cynical towards love, you already lost the ability to appreciate love and accept it for what it is and accept it in your soul and in your heart. This is philosophical, this is spiritual, there's many layers to that. But inherently, love is good. There's no such thing as love is not good. There isn't. And to even call it immoral in some of his interviews is just disgusting. And that is not a message that you want to send to a huge amounts, millions of people. So the fact that someone is racist, sexist, xenophobic or whatever doesn't mean that it is because of love. It is because there's a lot of prejudice. Love has nothing to do with this. It is your perception of reality or your gut feeling, how you feel, how you see things. Sometimes you cannot be objective. Sometimes you can be objective. But love is still the purest emotion on this earth that drives creation and drives us to be better and not kill each other. Because inherently humans are good. The fact that we do evil is due to other factors and to be forgetful of love. People like Mazin that dare say these things are the types of people that create this propaganda about how you should be cynical about love and life and see the worst in people and not the best in people. And when you watch or when you play The Last of Us, you see despair, you see dreadfulness. You see only that. And through all of this negative emotion, Craig Mazin just wants to make you see love as the core issue of all of this. When it's not. Love is the only thing that keeps humanity from not killing ourselves. When you watch an animal, when you see animals in general, if you have a pet or whatever, when you see them how they act, their love is the purest love that you can imagine. The love that your dog has for you if you have a dog. It's like the purest love ever in existence. It's amazing. Yes, animals kill each other for food. They don't kill each other because they hate each other. So they only will kill for food. That is how it is in nature. Love inherently is a creative force. It is not a destructive force. Nothing destructive can come out of love. If you have a destructive tendencies, you will be destructive. And you probably did not adopt love. Not probably, but you didn't adopt love as your main factor in how you go about your day and how you act towards other people as well. Like, for example, I always try to help with whatever I know when it comes to, let's say, my doggies, because I do know a lot of holistic ways of dealing with a lot of things to protect them without actually using chemicals. So when I meet a person on the street and we talk with each other and I understand that they need help in that area, I will just tell them what I know. I will not ask any money for it. I'm just gonna tell them, you can do this and this to protect your doggy or to feed them better or whatever. I want people to know how to protect their pets, and I want those people to be informed as well. So that is healthy for them, because if their pets are healthy, it's good for them and how they feel. They're more confident, they're happier people because their pets are healthier and happier. Everything is connected. What we do, how we think, the energy that we give to everyone else each day, the energy that we project outwards and inwards. So now let's take a look again what he said.
And the most intense fear can lead to the most intense behavior.
So yeah, we do a lot of things out of fear. It's not out of love, it is out of fear. You can argue, but Gary, you love someone, so you have a fear that you're gonna lose them or whatever. And then yes, maybe you have a fear. You have to deal with that fear. The fear is a separate entity, and it's an evil entity within yourself. Think about it this way. Fear is a separate emotion that drives us nuts. It could poison our soul, it could poison our mentality. We could get to mental issues because of fear. So it's a separate thing. Craig Mazin is attributing so many bad things to love where they're due to fear or due to hate, which again is a separate emotion. Hate cannot come from love. You had the love and then you develop hate because something happened, but you developed this hate, you couldn't conquer it with the love. Love is separate once again. With love, you can make the scale tip back to your baseline or to a more positive state.
Including violence. And if you scratch the surface of tribalism, racism, xenophobia, you will find love is not always good. And when we talk about this show and as we go episode by episode, we're going to meet people that love each other over and over and over. And we're going to see this dynamic play out over and over and over.
They love each other and they do other things while they're loving each other. They're not making always the best choices when they're loving each other. The other thing is that all of these movies like The Last of Us or stories in general where there's a dystopian future that always presents people as the worst possible. Of course there's such people, but this really doesn't coincide with humanity. You can see in your own life there's actually many more good people in life than we think. We just don't communicate with them. You don't go out on the streets to communicate and to find those people. You don't do that. You just go around and you live your life around certain circles of people, and they may not be always the best, so you think that everybody are like that. There's many active people and conscious people in this life that actually try to do something good, but you will never probably notice that. So it's not as bad as American movies and games always presented it to be. Of course there's evil, but there's good. If there's more evil than good, then Earth really is going to explode in war, and we are going to kill ourselves. When the scale tips for real towards evil, we're gonna kill ourselves. There are a lot of good people that actually work towards something that is creative and not destructive. We are going to survive. So we tend to look at things more negatively than they are. A lot of the times we just push down on ourselves as well. A lot of the times we are cynical. But for love, we never should be cynical. We should be actively seeking it by working on ourselves to be better people. That's how we should seek love. And then eventually, if we want a partner in life, that partner is going to appear in the best moment possible that we never expected. Usually that is how life works. But if you just go through life being cynical as this guy, Craig Mazin, you will never be able to experience real love and unconditional love. Now let's read some of what I found that he said. Mazin describes love as a multifaceted force that is both admirable and problematic. He argues that love is not inherently positive, but can lead to extreme behaviors, including violence and cruelty. In an interview with IndieWire, he stated,
"Love is the problem now, is the problem for all of us, and we don't like to think of it that way, but it is. The odds are that we all will do something beautiful and sacrificial and admirable because of love. And also all of us are going to do something terrible because of love, something destructive or violent or cruel, because we invented the words for a part of us we have no control over."
That's absolute bullshit. We didn't invent it, by the way. Love is throughout all nature, like I said. Love is what nature is because it's a creative force. Once again, if you've never read any book freaking in your life, you have to. People like that, they should not write anything. He should be able to see things objectively. As an author, a creator of a show, whatever, he has to have a lot of different knowledge from many books from different spaces. That is how authors, creators should be in general. It is essential for them to know many things and to broaden their perspectives. Thus, if he never reached any profound conclusions about love, which are absolutely so close to the mind, and so to learn is not something that's out there, it's something that is by default, I'm not sure what to tell you. I mean, that is why I'm calling it evil, because it's either intentional or ridiculously narrow visioned. He should be able to see things from all sides. He should have read a lot of spiritual and philosophical books. He should never say something like that. Literally, love is the inherently good force that we all know. That is a universal truth that you can find in many books from many cultures. So what he's saying is not only immoral, he is the immoral thing here that we are looking at, not love. He also said that we're all going to do something bad, violent and cruel. No, we have a choice to do violent and cruel things with or without love. If it's without love, we're definitely going to do them. Nothing stops us but love in these moments. It is not love that drives us, it is love that stops us. Once again, if you have a case when you love someone and somebody else killed that person, God forbid, you'll totally want to hurt the person that killed him. You know, you probably want to kill them yourself. That's like a natural reaction. But in that moment, you create, of course, hate and the feeling of revenge, all those things. Those are separate feelings that you choose to nurture or choose to get away from. They're created in that moment because you see that something wrong has been done. Yes, to a person that you love, but it is not love that will make you kill them. It is the other feelings that arise. And you will say, yes, Gary, but love made you have these feelings. Love by itself didn't make me have these feelings. Something evil happened to a person that you love, and then you had these feelings. The evil is what it was done, and then from this evil feelings arose. And yes, you love this person, but that's the pure emotion in that situation. That's the purest emotion. From the purest love, they cannot come evil things. You just feel the hurt that somebody hurt the person that you love. You just feel the pain. You just feel the negative from the evil thing that was done. And you want to project that onto the person that did it. So he also said, guys,
love itself is immoral. It's immoral because it doesn't follow rules.
That's just not true. I mean, this first sentence, that is not true at all. Can't believe that he has this kind of an opinion. Love doesn't follow rules. What are you talking about? Love is the purest feeling. It exists by itself. It is there. It is universal. It is, oh my gosh. That's not why love is there. It has nothing to do with rules.
It doesn't live in the part of the brain that comes up with the rules.
I mean, again, he is treating human beings like we don't have an opinion, we cannot control what we are doing. I love many people in my life, and some of them were not very good, and I have to leave them, you know. So I do have the rationale that they're not good for me, and I have to leave them. Love didn't make me do stupid things at that time. Love by itself didn't do that. It's my lack of wisdom and lack of maturity that does this. Love by itself didn't make me be immature when I was younger and let's say date guys that are not for me, you know. I'm just giving an example from real life. So if I love someone but he's not for me and I'm still with them but I'm suffering, this is my fault because I lack the wisdom, the maturity to leave them. Of course, there's other cases where, you know, a woman or a girl is in this very violent situation and she doesn't know how to leave, but that is a totally other circumstance that she needs help and all of that. I don't want to digress. The point is that there's always these other things that we either lack or have more of than pure love, which are the negative emotions and the negative thoughts and all of that. So it's all about, do you have fortitude of a good human being that is wise and is capable, or you don't and you make stupid things because you don't have the other good qualities. Love by itself is not to be faulted. So he continues.
The idea is amplified in the show's narrative, practically in Joe's decision to kill dozens to protect Ellie, prioritizing personal love over the potential greater good of a cure for humanity.
Which, once again, they will probably just use her. Other people also had immunity as far as I understand. So Ellie would die for nothing, basically, and those people that wanted to do that to her are not good people, so they deserve to die if they want to do this to this kid. Anyway, Joe, even if he didn't love her that much, he should try to free her, at least. And if he has to kill someone to do that, it is more morally correct to do that, because they want to use a child to create something that maybe is not gonna happen. And even if it happens, they do create this antidote, they're gonna use it to rule the world. And Ellie would have been dead for somebody else's ambition and not the good of humanity, which is even a greater evil. So she would have died for evil. Especially if Mazin's logic and cynical views are correct, to be applied here, whatever Joe did is actually moral. For sure. Mazin sees this as a reflection of love, irrational nature which can justify extreme actions. Once again, no. You will do extreme actions if you're a rational person. End of story. You know, full stop. And Mazin continues.
If you look at any kind of conflict between people or peoples, at some point you're gonna find somebody doing something because of love. That love manifests as fear, hatred, xenophobia, racism, religious superiority.
My guy, Mazin, love cannot manifest as fear, hatred, xenophobia, racism, or religious superiority. What are you talking about? Love literally is the anathema of fear, hatred, xenophobia, racism, and religious superiority. Do I have to repeat that one more time? You are insane. That is insane. That's literally like Satan wrote this. Literally, guys, do not underestimate such sentences, such ways of speaking. This is manipulative. This is evil in philosophical ways and like deep spiritual ways. And even if you remove the spiritual part at all, this is intellectually dishonest. You don't even need the spiritual to see that this is intellectually dishonest, extremely ignorant. Love is literally the anathema of all of those evil things that he mentions. The anathema, the opposite. So Mazin highlights the love story between Bill and Frank as a cornerstone of the series themes. In a Collider interview, he described their relationship as a codex for the show's exploration of love. As Frank says,
paying attention to this is how we show love, and then there's the other part of love, which is protective, violent, if necessary, vengeful, conserving of the people that you care about and love. Those two kinds of love, sir, gonna appear over and over in the series.
No. It's the same thing all over again, guys, just said in different ways. So, once again, love cannot be violent, vengeful, or whatever. Those words exclude love completely, and they're love's opposite. So this is complete nonsense. There's no other types of love that unconditional true love. That is it. Everything else is possessiveness or some kind of a ego-driven emotion that maybe mimics love, but it's not true love. It's not love, okay? That is a fact. When you look at so many things in the world, in history, in nature, in philosophical books, in spiritual books, just logic in general, what we know as love as definition. Even if you don't believe in God, okay, you can still reach these conclusions without that. But also, if you believe in God, you'll know that God is love. And when something bad happens in the world and people think to point a finger at God, they don't know actually the correlation between, well, God and how things work. So that is the confusion there, but that's another topic, and it's super deep and super long. But the point is, you can reach the conclusion and the knowledge that love is inherently good without believing in God. That's what I mean. And if you believe in this cynical look towards love, then you don't know what love is. This is just how it is. This is just how love is. The nature of love is pure and it's good. And no cynicism can ever exist towards love. And we all know that they screw the show, they screw the games. They only are good in showing dreadfulness, hatred, and despair in The Last of Us. This whole thing is rot, and it's rotting. All the colors that we see here on the screen, even all the game, everything is green and yellow and dark. This is rot. This is death. I would totally stay away from The Last of Us, really, from now on. I loved games. I mean, the first one, it had more meaning, and the second one, they just peed on it, pooped on it, and spat on it. And that's a fact. Love you guys. If you'd like to support me, the links are down below.